Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to take a look at the Origins Snout Spout. This is one of the deluxe figure sets. Come out fairly recent. I've had him for a little while, just haven't made my way to open him up yet. But I thought it'd be cool to take a look at him and compare him to the vintage version. So let's take a little look here. Bring it in a little closer. Pretty cool. Nose sprays, douses the enemy's firepower. Snout Spout, heroic water blasting heroic water blasting firefighter. Got a little tongue tied there. Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool looking figure. The original figure came out towards the end of the line. It came out in '86. Of course, the original line ended around '87. At that point, I had kind of moved away from Masters of the Universe. I think I was probably at that point more into some of the Transformers, and I was getting a little older. wasn't really doing the whole action figure thing that much. But yeah, on the back of the box here, we got some pretty cool artwork. You can see King Hiss, and looks like Cobra Khan there, or is that the actual Camo Khan? Let's see, our cross-cell art. We got our 2000X He-Man and Skeletor. We got old Pighead, Mantana Leech, Roton, which that's actually pretty cool. I've been looking to pick that one up. And then we get a good look at what the action features are. So it's filled with clean water, press button, hose down enemies. So this is a little different than the original. And I'll take a look at that. But I'm missing a piece on my original, so I can't fill it with water. But yeah. This is just a little bit more involved than the original. It's got more pieces to it. So yeah, let's get him out of the box here, out of the package, and see what this fella's all about. We'll start at the top. This coat comes with an additional head. That is attached to the little backpack thing. Alright, so we do have a couple of bands holding him in. Looks like they're around both wrists and feet. Let's see, what is the best way to get this thing out? Just rip it out. That's the best way. Those bands weren't very sturdy, apparently. Alright, so with him we get a new comic, Night of the Leech. That's another new figure that I'd like to pick up soon. Pretty cool artwork. We got Buzz Off, Zodak. There's Hordak. Very cool. Same cross-cell art that we saw on the back of the card, which I'm going to put that out of the way here. And of course, like all the others, we get our little cool diagram showing us all the removable pieces, of which we know we can swap out heads, arms, feet, and you can pop them off at the waist. Pretty neat. All good stuff to keep. Alright, so the figure itself, you got all your standard articulation. We do have some new sculpt. Looks like new hands. Because I don't recall seeing these on any of the WWE figures. Or the boots. The boots look new too. And waist. So we got a lot of new parts on this. Still the standard, top part of the arms and the legs. Pretty much standard. Everything's about the same. I do like, though, that on this figure, we actually get a removable harness, whereas on our vintage figure, it's actually molded onto the plastic. You do have some movement in his trunk. Not much. There is some. You can kind of swivel it, and it's got a little bit of an articulation. And, of course, you get all that range of motion in the head. He comes with his axe, which this looks pretty identical to the vintage. Very cool. So, backpack. So he's got a little notch there. You can put this on. If you want to just display it like this. Or, let's take this off. Let's pop his head off here. And we're going to put on the other head. There we go. And we'll hook this backpack on. And this is the deluxe one with all the extra features. Like this is the one you can use to suck up water with a snout. Very cool. I actually think I prefer this additional head because it looks like the vintage head. I'm not sure why they chose to make the additional head the one that looks like the vintage. Kind of like what they had to do with the He-Man figure. Yeah, see if he'll stand with all that on. Balance him out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, I'll scoot him back here so he can in frame a little bit better. Yeah, so you can see this head doesn't have the markings that the additional head does. Another thing is this snout is completely different. So when we bring in our vintage, as you can see, the markings and the size of this snout and everything is pretty close. It looks like a pretty faithful recreation. And like I was saying, on our vintage figure, this is all just molded onto the torso. And then the backpack is molded on as well. I'm missing a little piece that goes here. But you basically just put the snout in water, press the button, and it would suck up water, and then you could spray it out. Yeah, so this figure is not in bad shape. I mean, like I said, it's missing a part, but it's pretty solid. The legs are pretty tight. The arms are pretty tight. But yeah, that's a pretty good recreation. It's actually, I would say it's an improvement, simply because the removable armor, having an additional head and having the hose with the backpack and all that, that's really cool. I dig it. All right, I'm going to change my camera view so we can actually look at this a little bit closer. All right, so that's better. Let's bring him in a little closer. Get a better view of him. If I can get him to stand okay. Yeah. It's a very cool figure. Now, our vintage, he doesn't stand as well, even with tight legs. He is still a little wobbly. Hey, we got him to stand. So yeah, you can see this is I mean, this is a very faithful recreation of our vintage figure. I give him some props on this one because this is one where I think it's definitely an improvement over the original. Definitely one I would prefer to have on display in my collection. Not that I wouldn't want to have our vintage. I'm always going to have love for the vintage figures. But they definitely one-upped it quite a bit here. The articulation and everything really makes this figure a lot better. Let's go ahead and look at the backs real quick here. Yeah, and as you can see, this was the original backpack that's molded onto the body, whereas we have the removable one here. Very cool. Very much a better figure. Even the trunks look the same. They did a good job. All right, so that's gonna wrap up this one. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you picked this guy up, were you a fan of Snout Spout, or old hose nose as they would call him? Like I said, this was after my initial time with the Masters of the Universe toys, so It kind of got there at the end when I really wasn't following. The animated series, it ended. I think She-Ra was in its run, and of course we were a couple years away from the New Adventures of He-Man, so I had kind of moved on and wasn't really messing with He-Man stuff at that point. I was aware of the character, just wasn't really following real closely. But yeah, I'm glad to have it now. I'm glad to have my vintage as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Hey, go back and watch some of the other videos because there's a ton of stuff on here. I talk about a lot of different Masters of the Universe figures and do a lot of comparisons. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, please take a minute, check them out. As always, appreciate you guys sticking around. Everybody have a great day.